All right, what is up, THL? We've got ourselves a special Schoolstone today. This is Hero Series Finals. We have a tie score right now between Tanpam Surf Slam and Spies That Flies. It is 5-5, 2 games in. We got 3 games left, and we got a great match for you today between baseinc and NHL NJ fan, or as he is more commonly known currently, Marty Brodeur.
As his friend / teammate in 2 series, I am holding him to that.
Can't wait. Can't wait for the name change.
Right. I gotta give props to Donde, though, for originally coming up with that suggestion. Well, no, because that
we
started,
were doing that
remember...
on Saloon as well. I don't actually know the origin of how it first came about.
So simply put, it was a suggestion made during the team reveals for, I forget if it was Hero, Legacy, or whatever, but from the moment Donde like said his name and like realized that was going to be a pain, he had originally come up with that idea. So it was actually something that like was created very early on, but we never could quite get Marty to actually like change his username for everybody else's sake.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. But he's aware.
He's got his hands full today, going up against 11-1 crossover player of the season, MVP of the Hero season, baseinc, and this should be an interesting one.
There's a lot going on here,
yeah,
man.
just hanging out at a casual 545 PR in the 3 seed. Base does have the opportunity to close out the season for Spies with 3 550 players if she does wind up getting the victory here.
Mm-hmm. But this is pretty important. I mean, Base, as you said, is the crossover player of the season. She's going for her 2nd championship, having already won the Legacy Championship with Hearthstone Academy. And she has been pretty much on a roll, I think, in everything. Because she played in all 4 series this season. And from what I could tell, she did moderately well in all of them. But Hero, even if they don't win, she still gets her best performance here just for going 11-1 or 12-1, 11-2, whatever it may be. That's incredible right there.
Absolutely is. No outcome is going to take away this season from her, but obviously she wants the title, she wants the victory, as does Marty Brodeur, and
I'm here.
did Discord just randomly die on me there?
Momentarily. I was like, "What is going on?"
What was the last thing I said then?
A moment of silence for Ron's mic.
Yeah, apparently. Where are we? What was the last thing I said then?
Uh,
All right. All right. Well, I was
yeah,
doing a run
okay,
through of the
alright.
classes, so I'll just redo that. So for baseinc, we have Hunter, Rogue, Warlock, and Warrior. And for Marty Brodeur, we have Demon Hunter, Hunter Mage, and Rogue.
Mhm.
Definitely an interesting matchup between these two and between these two classes. What do you make of this and the possible bans, JR?
So, I was very interested in how you kind of notice looking at the class brings from both teams. Spies That Flies went very uniform, and 4 out of their 5 players brought the exact same classes. Whereas with Tampam Surf Slam, you'll notice nobody brought the exact same lineup in any way. There are a couple players with, like, 2 to 3 classes of overlap, but for the most part, it's like we all went with very different strategies. If we're talking about this match specifically, I would say I really like Marty's chances here. I think Warlock Warrior is a very solid lineup. Lotus was able to take me down with it on Friday night, but I think that the class, I think, like especially with Hunter and Demon Hunter, Marty has some solid sweeping potential with those classes, and I suspect Base is going to ban one of them. Knowing that, it's interesting because Lotus banned my warrior, and so since Marty didn't bring that class, I'm wondering what his base thinking is the next best thing to ban.
Yeah, and I think it's probably going to be a hunter ban from base side. There's a chance maybe she bans rogue, which is also quite strong, but I don't think she's going to worry too much about mage. And demon hunter has kind of lost its claws a little bit. That was something that I just recently experienced, granted in a different format in Conquest, where
Hmm.
last night in Pro, CMAC targeted my demon hunter to great effect. Demon Hunter's just lost a little bit of gas, and it's a bit more risky than it has been in previous weeks due to all those nerfs. I think base most likely will go for that hunter ban, and I think Marty is probably still gonna look for the warrior ban, given how bad of a matchup it can be for demon hunter, especially.
Yeah, I could see that. I think it's interesting because Marty, I will just say, out of everybody on the team who brought Demon Hunter, he was the one who was definitely the most confident about that bring. He was the one very assuring of just how strong it still is. How even though the cards that were nerfed were obviously relevant, there's still like ways to rework the deck to keep it as very powerful and keeping a lot of the momentum it had before. So we kind of saw how that worked out with the 5 seed match, and how like that the deck still had some quite some power to it. So I'll be interested in seeing if that proves to be the case here as well.
Awesome. And Saku, do we have the players all ready for their bands?
Not just yet. I see that they challenged up yet, so I think they're working through their things. Oh, their base is just
There we go.
gave us some info. So Marty's banned Hunter, and Based she has banned his mage.
Based bands
The
mage.
hunter ban I
Interesting.
expected,
Interesting.
but the mage ban I did not.
Hunter ban isn't too surprising. I thought that maybe he'd just go warrior instead to kind of create a path for the demon hunter, but Hunter also extremely strong in the format right now. The mage ban from base, I'm very curious about. So interesting. Maybe she's seeing something we don't, and it'll be exciting to see this play out.
I will say in last Hero Standing, we've definitely noticed more unconventional bans because certain classes, in some situations, can seem very threatening. Even when you see it alongside classes like Demon Hunter, Hunter, and Warrior. So
Yeah,
I
definitely
remember
a good point.
base I banned her Warlock. So you never know sometimes.
Okay, I'm just gonna get the players to play, and we'll have Marty Berdura on the bottom. So I'll be the first to spectate with Based on top.
Awesome.
Sounds good to me.
So when it comes to queue order, game one is often extremely important. Um, Marty with his mage out, maybe he leads Demon Hunter, maybe Hunter on base side with or my bad, his base's Hunter's out. Yeah, no, that's right. Base Hunter's out and Marty's mage is out. So what do you think base leads with here?
I could see Hunter maybe. I mean, not sorry, not Hunter. I could see Rogue being a good starter on base descent.
I sort of expect a warrior from base. We'll see what she starts with. I know that that's been a strength of hers all season long. I don't expect it to change here. But she's going to rogue. All right. And Marty leading off with a hunter. This looks like a pretty typical stealth rogue for base.
Probably that seems to be what we've seen a lot of, especially lately.
Marty running what looks like the enrage package in the hunter. Possible that it's not a Highlander hunter, although I would anticipate it is still Highlander. But the Amani Berserker, not a very common inclusion. Interesting card to bring in here.
Yeah, it seems to be a card you see more often not when players are trying to go for a more aggressive approach.
And based with an excellent setup too, with the Skyvateer and the Sage on 2 and 3, enabling a trade with the 3/1 to unstealth if she needs it. And given that there's a Fairy Dragon, I'd say she's going to want to remove that Fairy Dragon and play the Skyvateer.
Who in their right mind hides loot?
All right,
Ooh,
Marty
but
on
that
the
top
other
deck
side.
Animal Companion.
Pretty good pickup. Yeah, he's going to let it rip right away.
And that's probably as good as you could have gotten right there.
And
So it's not
Based-
Huffer though.
Yeah, his Huffer button's broken. Something went wrong there. Wait,
Totally.
what is this card text?
Oh, wow.
Taunt?
More draw power.
To out? Misha? I don't get it. I don't know.
So
It's-
I'm wondering here, is this a play where you you play the Shadow Weaver, I imagine?
I would say he should probably just use all of his mana here, and yeah, that's definitely the most power, the most efficient, slow down based, and start sending damage to get that pressure going. Based with some good options here, holding Edwin and Eviscerate.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to think about it for more than a few seconds, just ripping the Edwin here.
That's going to
It's
be
going to be a 6/6. And no sense in unstealthing yet, holding the other Sage, not
Ooh.
able to remove anything. Zephyrus off the top for Marty.
That's pretty good.
It is indeed, and currently we're looking at a bit of a tempo matchup here. Marty may just decide to rip this Zeph right away and get rid of that Edwin.
It's a tough call though because like Marty can still put in a fair bit of damage if he wants to like remove the Van Cleef, like say getting Shadow or Death. But the problem, unfortunately, is that there's still not a great way to clear off the 3/3. So, you know, depending on what base is able to do next turn, could be, you know, there's still room for comeback. But I think you gotta play the Zeph here just because you want to like keep putting on the pressure.
Savage Roar, Shadow Word Death, and a Sea Giant. Interesting.
Well, that's the thing with
going
Savage
with
Roar.
the Savage Roar.
Yeah.
He's just pushing all damage base. He is. This is just pure aggression. I like it. Hunter going face. Knows that Rogue doesn't have much healing. This is going to be a real struggle for base to stay afloat.
Angry Hunter.
That's there's not a like base can clear some of this, which is nice, but the bottom line is Marty all he needs to do is get some kind of additional damage or hero power over 3 turns, and that's it.
And Hounds, that
That
speeds up the clock.
I think that would I think that puts her on a clock for 2 for one more turn. That's wow, yeah.
Marty with incredible draws off the top here, and Based is just gonna struggle to have any chance. I mean, actually, I think it's guaranteed over.
It is.
There's no way she could possibly gain any health and dies to the hero power. So that's gonna do it for game 1.
Yep, the only health gain that Base has is Galakron, and she can't play it this turn, so that's pretty much all she can do.
And Based finds the lethal. Well done. You can't find the lethal on your opponent. Fight it on yourself.
Do it RonMexico style.
Yeah.
That's gonna end game 1 in favor of Marty Brodeur, who gets a win with the Hunter and eliminates Basinc's Rogue in the process.
I will admit, I did consider that Marty playing the Zephyrs would give Savage Wars an option and bring base down to 5, but I couldn't help but wonder, is that like the best play? Like, is that like enough of a clock? Is that like, you know, is that like setting up for potential problems later? And nope, that was definitely the right play, no question.
Definitely paid off, and we see probably the reason Based wanted to ban the Mage here, because Mage is a slight favorite against an Egg Warrior, not so against a Bomb Warrior, but running Gorfiend, looks like this is an Egg Warrior from Based here.
Someone's gotta lead the charge.
This is a very close to even matchup as far as the stats go between Hunter and Warrior.
But this is, you know, decent. But the thing is, this could, in theory, create problems for Based since Highlander Hunter is pretty favored against Warrior in general. So, but this is the combo we were like, we knew we were hoping to see with the Amani Berserker. The Aug Merchant into it now makes it a 5/2 with Divine Shield, and that's going to be hard to deal with.
Absolutely devastating board for Based on this end here. Marty has a pretty strong lead. I'm a bit surprised to not see just a Felma hero power here. Looking for...
Ooh.
Well, Stormhammer's excellent.
That's pretty good.
And knowing that, you know, the Warrior generally does not run any weapon removal techs, we probably see this, you know, not going to play Stormhammer yet. Going for Primordial. Gets a good one.
No dragon to actually trigger the effect yet, but Marty knows he has a bunch of dragons he could draw to make that happen, and he still has a good alternative play for next turn regardless.
Based has a solid response, of course, though, with the Risky Skipper. That's going to discount this Brute very much. Considering... I mean, if she I was thinking she might punch face and draw the additional
Oh, I see.
minion.
Yeah, this is better.
I'm a bit surprised to see that that weapon swing go into the Explorer, since, you know, the Explorer would have died to the skipper hit anyway.
Right.
Regardless, is able to clear out the board and start fighting back. Already knows that skipper is very much a dangerous card to let stay alive, so he's just going to clear it. And Base with a really good setup still.
Yep.
Gonna rampage and copy, and that's a lot of damage coming back Marty's way. Still one turn off Bran, so the clock for both players is accelerating very quickly.
Is it cold?
Yeah, Marty
in
has
the
to
shadows?
freeze one of these or remove one of them if he wants to have any chance.
Wants to send damage,
The
doesn't want to
fires of
lose the weapon
vengeance
swing.
burn bright.
Gonna pass on the hero power and hold back the weapon swing, so no additional damage going Base way right now. She's gonna draw a bunch of cards, and ooh, Gorfiend would not be good on this board to lose the power she has.
I think you
Just
just play the
gonna
drag.
Get a taunt away. So Marty has the option to just play Bran if he chooses. Rot Nest off the top means Rot Nest is activated. Could get it clear that way, and a weapon swing could be a bit better than the Bran.
Yeah.
But Base 3 off lethal. There would be a guaranteed lethal without the buff. I mean, without the nerf for that Corsair cache.
It's all going to be about
She's
whatever
just
lackey she
gonna
gets.
go for the lackey.
Oh boy.
Doesn't
That is
find
not
it.
it, but that is relevant.
Now debating on maybe a hero power and a taunt, or drawing a card to look for a lethal. I don't know if there are any 2-mana cards left in that deck that she'd find with the 2 draws to get lethal.
I challenge you to Makara!
I think an excellent decision here, going with a clear and a taunt. If Felma goes face, that could be game over.
That... Oh, so close. Hold on. I was gonna say if Felmaw had actually hit the 8-11, that would have been game.
I was thinking Rot Nest would have a chance to remove the taunt, but yeah, Felma hitting the 8-11 would have cleared space for Bran to go face for the win. Now, just barely not there.
I don't think there's anything he can do because he can...
One
at
mana
1 health?
off. Yeah.
That's rough.
Crazy finish to this game. This is looking like Base found the way to get the victory.
Yeah, that rampage into mercenary combo was like, without that, I don't think she would have had a good shot at winning this match at all, just because of how skewed this in Hunter's favor.
And look at that. 3 health, 1 health, and Base picks up the big victory to swing things back around, eliminates Marty's Hunter, and now has Warrior going up next against the choice for Marty to bring either Rogue or Demon Hunter. And this is the turning point of the match for sure. If Marty can't win with his Rogue, which I have to assume is getting drawn here, then Demon Hunter really struggles against Warrior, and this might be the series.
Embrace the chaos.
Yeah, I agree. This is
Watch your
definitely a tough situation to be in. It's going to be, I mean, I don't think either of these matchups are so unfavored for Marty, but it's definitely going to require him to play extra perfectly and, you know, without making any mistakes.
I mean, the problem with Demon Hunter versus Warrior is if Based actually wins this match, you can play perfectly with Demon Hunter, but it won't matter at all if they have these 2 cards that Base is currently holding, Risky Skipper and Armor Smith. As far as the rogue match is concerned, this is the opportunity for Marty Brodeur to get a win, eliminate this warrior to clear the path for the Demon Hunter victory, or just, you know, take the series with the rogue. Going pretty straightforward so far.
I'll be honest, I'm a little surprised that Base did not go for the challenger instead of the weapon there. I think that was a pretty ideal opportunity.
Well, knowing that there's the secret up, Base clearly was playing around the poison summon off of the secret, which would just immediately remove the Warmaul.
It's fair to not consider that. And there's the egg.
Egg is good enough that I think it's fine to trigger that. She's also going to find out that that's not the secret, which means it's safe to play Warmaul. And she may just choose to taunt this egg.
No, gonna armor up instead.
Holding that weapon swing as well. Gonna wait for a more impactful target. Marty,
Ooh.
Shadow of Death is usually bad. Cold Blood, good.
I like Cold Blood here. Especially when you taunt that up. Base is not going to have an easy way of dealing with this at all. That's a problem. Right there.
And that was a 3-mana 1/4 just a short couple turns ago.
Yeah.
We're looking at a 6/6 taunt right now.
I imagine this is going to be a risky skipper into maybe an Armor Smith and taunt play. Challenger, not Challenger. Brute is not going to be able to come down this turn just because of the limited amount of mana, and any risky skipper is going to clear those 1/1s, so there's not going to be enough to make it playable this turn. But this does seem like a Battle Rage turn, or possibly just a
Exactly. It also, well, it discounts the Brute quite a bit for the following turn, gains a lot of armor, puts a pesky taunt in the way. Definitely the right target to taunt up that egg.
Yeah.
And Marty, without a whole lot of options for this turn, really slowing down.
Not terrible, though, especially because he does still have, even if that 6/4 can be cleared, he's going to be able, like, if Base does manage to replenish her card pool to some degree, Marty's just going to get card draw of his own through the dirty tricks.
Very true.
So, and even with both Brutes in hand, there's not really a perfect situation to make both of them work. No Rampage Mercenary combo like last turn, so I'm not really sure how effectively this is going to play out for her.
I mean, this is fine, all things considered from Base perspective. You still get to clear the minions completely. A damaged Brute does play around Rogue's undamaged removal effects. And she doesn't, or Marty doesn't have any ability directly on board to clear that.
No, that's also
Gonna go in with the Hadar turn. Here come the shenanigans.
Secret shenanigans. Oh, that's pretty huge.
Grabs an explosive. Big here in this moment.
I do like that as
Redemption as well.
Can we get one more secret down there?
And
No?
another
Okay.
ambush.
That's also good, though.
Bit surprised at the end there to not see a 2-mana spell taken before the Paladin spell, with the Paladin spell, generally not being that effective when you know Hanar's gonna die anyway. But Redemption,
Yeah.
always good for Hanar. I think Base is gonna want to play this Brute, most likely.
Probably. Or the Challenger, maybe? It's... she's really considering her options, you can tell.
Someone's gotta lead
Okay,
the
going with the Raider to test for the poison.
Which, yeah.
You fell
Good play.
right into my trap.
Can still play the Brute if she chooses to.
Yeah.
This is the guarantee that you can kill Hanar, though, once the poison triggers. Also playing around pack tactics. Very, very impressive overall play from Base here. And she'd get some bad news if she swung that weapon there.
Yep.
Or actually, did she have a lance equipped at the start of that turn?
She did.
So couldn't swing anyway.
No.
Marty answering the board on the other side. Let's see what the reborn is. It's not a generous mummy, so he takes it, right?
Right.
As long as it's not generous mummy, you're
That's, I think, the only
somewhat
one
happy.
you are really unhappy with.
Considering a backstab on this lackey?
I don't really see a reason to. There are going to be better targets even in a deck like this.
Based, gonna test for that explosive.
Which is there.
Gets the news. That's explosive. Its
It did do its
effectiveness
job, though.
I'll
eliminated.
show you who's
I would say it
boss.
more or less did its job.
And this looks like card draw here from Based.
Well, she doesn't have a battle base, though, so I guess it's more of a... it's more of trying to set up for a Rampage turn. A Rampage Mercenary turn.
Oh, true. She used that Battle Rage the previous turn. My bad.
Yeah. This is a little awkward, since Marty's not going to have an easy way to clear this, so that Rampage Mercenary turn is going to happen. I mean, the ambush is nice. It's going to help, but it's only going to do so much, unfortunately.
And Marty without a way to clear this skipper. Almost there. Base just gonna lead off with that route. Still has the mana, of course, for the Bloodsworn copy. Now getting a bit of bad news with the poison showing up.
Not terrible, though, since she can clear it without having to sacrifice a brute, and can also make a second one with the mercenary if she wants. And it looks like they do that. Yep.
And that swing also tested for Bamboozle, just in case that was actually a possible option, but now knows that this final secret is Dirty Tricks, and still has a pretty imposing board that really is only weak to Flick, but Marty not holding Flick means, especially with this hand, this is it for Marty. He's going in on this questing, and he's going to have to pray that he gets some good top decks following this, because this is all of his resources.
It is, but it's also, even with the Rampage Mercenary combo in hand, it's still going to be not an easy thing for Base to get through.
Well, I think Base is totally fine with this, knowing that, you know, the questing is there. Is going to actually probably trigger that Dirty Tricks and give Marty a little bit of refill.
Oh, she knows she has to.
But this is still such a strong position to be in from Base side that I think she doesn't really mind giving Marty the 2-card draw, and oh my god, what a draw it was. Down to basically just miracle draws, but Galacrod and Flick are really the cards you'd like to see.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, you just... Well, this is annoying, because, like, Marty is one card away, is one invoke away from having the full Galacrod.
Probably still just needs to questing and Flick.
Yeah.
Questing is going to be a little bit pesky and requires a double trade to clear before it gets out of control, unless Base has another card to deal with it, like, say, the top deck. That Warmaul Challenger.
Base.
Well, you definitely just want to find the lackey first. Holding that Warmaul enables that play.
Yeah.
And with a Shield Slam, even more options. Shield block for card draw instead.
I challenge you to Makara!
Gonna trade in that Challenger completely, I think.
Yeah, with the Witchy, you just get full value out of this. You get a random 4, which is useful. Gets the Skyvateer, which also summons the Brigand, and here's yet another big board. And look at that! Oh,
Man.
wow, Marty just pulling incredible cards off the top. It still might not be enough, but he is He is fighting tooth and nail to do everything possible to stay in this game.
This is pretty good, though. Oh, wow. That is probably what you want there. My goodness.
A Nomi. Interesting. Kinda had forgotten that card existed.
Right? The Nomi decks of old.
And Base just continuing to apply the pressure. Knows she's very close to a victory here. If she can find a damage card for Grom with the Rampage, that's going to just end this game. Still not finding it. Bomb Wrangler, a decent pickup with the Goblin Lackey, though.
But that will trigger the ambush.
Right into my trap.
And double pay.
Most likely just ignoring the ambusher with that Bomb Wrangler and hitting the Lackey. Knows that Flick is out of the way too. Rampage on the Bomb Wrangler, instead of holding it for Grom, makes it a much more dangerous target. And
Yeah.
Marty, holding the Kronks, has a way to deal with the entire board if he wants to.
This is. Oh, I'm trying to think. I think you actually clear the egg, and then you play the
Maybe
Kronks,
trying to
right?
soak up some bomb damage into this Nomi first.
And he does get that.
Surprised to not see that Nomi hit the egg, though.
Yeah, I think he forgot about the egg. Oh no, because
Well,
he's summoning the dragon.
Choosing instead, yeah, makes the decision that he would rather have the big taunt. I definitely like this play a lot from Marty here. He's blocking the Grom burst play.
Yes. Ooh.
Wow. There's a pickup, though, for Based.
It's not necessarily amazing, but it's not bad. It's probably as good as you're gonna get.
With the amount of armor that she has and the minions on board, Marty would have to have exactly a secret and the stunner in order to actually negate Gorfiend's value. Or, you know, pick up a spell lackey and get sapped.
Ooh, that's
Because
pretty good.
I was just going to say Base is not really worried about life total right now.
Yeah.
Right, and the amount of board presence she gets once this Gorfiend gets a trade in, which is going to be a guaranteed death for Gorfiend. All Marty can do is just push damage right now. I think the Edwin has to hit the board. Chooses not to.
Oh, interesting.
Could be dangerous.
This is a good thing though, just because
Base finally found that
has
inner rage.
enough damage for face, but it's not gonna do it.
Just a little bit too late.
But going to clear that 8/8 dragon.
Yeah, I think this is the correct line from Based as well. Just get the Grom with you know, its dangerous stat line on the board, and obviously getting to clear that big 8/8 threat. Fascinating game we're seeing just back and forth between these two players.
This could be a very big Van Cleef turn though, and that's extremely important.
Oh, up to no good. Me too.
Oh boy.
Some witchy lackeys.
Some Donde lackeys. Yep.
Ah,
Most likely that Rush Lackey needs to hit the Kronks for Kronks to clear the Grom and then drop the Edwin.
yeah, otherwise it's too risky. And Marty knows if he plays the Van Cleef here, it still gives him some really strong board presence.
And Based in an awkward position.
Armor made to fit.
Pretty much out of gas. That bomb hit's gonna need to be big.
And it is
And
not.
it was a pretty much a whip. Gets the sea serpent out of the egg, but this looks like if Marty just clears the board consistently, he's going to be able to hang on and win. There are still chances with Corkrons.
Oh
Whoa.
boy.
Oh my.
Whoa.
I think you talked up both of those right.
Well, you don't want to taunt the...
Nope.
yeah.
Base is going to scoop it up, yeah.
Base knows it's over at that point. And really incredible play from Marty, actually going for the Kronks and the Taunt Dragon. If he had elected a different option, he very likely would have lost. Pretty unfortunate for Base, just digging for inner rages for that Grom lethal and just could not find it until a turn too late. And
Yeah,
nicely
that
done
was
by
a
Marty. That
late
eliminates
game.
the warrior.
Let's have some
That
fun.
flick followed by
Watch
the
your
Galakrond and then the Kronks was just... I'll admit, even with those draws, I felt like he was... there was a good chance he was going to lose that. So, you know, good on him for pulling that back the way he did.
Yeah, that looked like it was all but over. And also felt like the series was all but over with Demon Hunter having to face Warrior, but Marty just finding the answers at the right times. And now we have a match with Based back against the wall, needing her Quest Warlock to come up with 2 straight wins. But if any deck can do that right now, it seems like it's Quest Warlock. With the madness it's able to orchestrate with those 0 mana cards.
Yeah, both of their hands are a little awkward to start off, though, so I'm curious to see how this continues.
The Quest Warlock hand isn't too bad for Base right now. She's really just looking for a plot twist, sense deals, and give more cards in hand and healing as an on-curve play. It would burn a card, though, if she... Wait, no, it wouldn't.
No.
So definitely the play. Heals up with the Broodmother, finds another one just for good measure, and now it's just going to be hoping for a plot twist.
Yeah, this is... Plot twist would be pretty ideal now, just to throw everything back, throw those demons back in.
On Marty's end, very awkward, very slow. Not really anything he wants to do. He's got some reactive cards in hand. He's got some heavier cost cards, and doesn't even want to play the Edwin because too afraid that it just gets cleared up by something like a Dark Skies.
Right.
So why not play ambush that turn?
Because he wants to guarantee that he'll be able to play the ambush and take advantage of both of those secret cards, both the stunners, I mean. Because the problem is if he plays the ambush, he kind of knows, oh, Base is going to be able to deal with it. Whereas he really wants to, knowing he has both stunners especially, he wants to maximize the value off of it. So he ideally wants to play them both the same turn he would play the secret.
A debatable play there. You definitely could have played the ambush because, among other things, if you blocked this Netherwing play, you could have just been able to clear it right away.
Absolutely.
Based, I like this play quite a bit. Just going for some damage push with Marty having such a slow hand, electing not to go with the combo, but instead going with just tempo and pressure.
Oh, God, I just saw the prep. That's right. This is going to be a big Van Cleef play right here.
And here we do have the big Edwin.
I was even thinking just flick on that turn for the Netherwing, but...
That's 4 cards before Edwin, which means 5 cards before Edwin.
Brotherhood Shell Cafe.
14s.
That's
a big
not
boy.
being dealt with unless Base top decks the Keladan here.
And that's not a Keladan off the top, which means
That is
Base
not.
is really in some trouble.
Gonna replay that. Gonna replay the Netherwing, but that is also gonna bring out the Poisoner.
And Flick just gonna clear up that Netherwing. Seems like the right play. Just get the minion off the board and push a lot of damage, deciding not to. Considering Kronks instead does draw the Galakrond, which can be another way to just find enough resources to get there to close out the game. Edwin alone would represent just game over next turn if base can't find an answer.
Yep.
No, that's not an answer either.
Everyone!
That's going to do it.
Wow. Okay.
Marty
That's
Brodeur
incredible.
takes down baseinc in incredible fashion with this rogue, just picking up incredible wins.
Wow.
And that's a 3-1, and Tanpams takes a massive victory and a lead in the series. Any chance we can get Marty to join us?
I would say bring both of them.
Yeah, bring both. Yeah, just text
Oh, yeah.
it in.
Excellent.
See if they can.
Also, I do find it interesting that all 3 of the matches of this championship so far have been 3-1s.
There's a theme. There is certainly a theme. There's the newly acquired
Marty.
Seattle guy.
Yes.
Hey, congratulations on a huge win there.
Yeah.
Looked like you were almost dead to rights with that rogue, but picking up some massive draws and making some great plays in that rogue versus warrior game. And then, Edwin doing Edwin things and getting you that decisive victory.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I played that warrior versus rogue game perfectly. There were a few things I think I'd prefer to change. But that whole Edwin play in the last game was exactly what I was hoping for. Like, I knew that if I could get a big Edwin, then nothing base could do would be able to get rid of it, and I could just end the game early. Well played, base, by the way.
Yeah, well played. Yeah, that Edwin was disgusting.
Edwin should have been.
I
Hall
saw
of
the
Fame.
prep in that hand, and I was just like, oh my god, he's going for the big Edwin play. Like, absurd.
When
Yeah,
in
that
doubt-
was a 14-14. That's just nutty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that takes double
this is
more.
why that card needs to be Hall of Famed. I don't understand.
I mean, there were
don't.
some answers that base could have had, like a top decked Keladan, or even just a single Keladan is
Yeah.
the answer to Edwin. Unfortunately for her, she was not able to find it. Outside of that, it's something like a Moarg Netherbreath Soulfire play, or double Moarg. But there's some limited things, and it absolutely seemed to be the correct play to set up and execute, and it paid off big time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My hand was doing nothing but playing for board, which is really weird for the Quest Warlock.
What I found was really interesting was the game before that, Rogue versus Warrior. Base had quite a few draws for the lethal, but just couldn't find that extra damage. And Marty, you were just throwing up taunt after taunt. I was really impressed by that Kronk's play, where you had the option to clear up the board. And if you had done so, you would have just lost. But instead, going for some trades, hoping to soak up damage on the Nomi with your trade into the bomb first with the dagger swing, and then taking that 8/8 taunt was absolutely what won it for you. And then of course just more crazy evolves too.
Yeah, absolutely. I've learned over the expansion that the way to beat Warrior is not by clearing their board, but by just making sure they can't hit you in the face. Like,
Yeah.
the one thing I was terrified base would have was some sort of lethal with Grommash. And fortunately for me, she couldn't draw the Grommash in time. So I just figured, in the meantime, let's just protect my face, set up a bunch of big taunts, and hope for the best.
Yeah. I had the Grom. I had like 5 draws for one of 2 inner rages, and that would have ended the game, but it just never hit it. It just kept drawing stuff.
Exactly.
And then finally hit Battle Rage when I had no minions damaged and no way to damage them.
Yeah, yeah, those are some really brutal draws at the end for Based. And Marty, that looked like a game that was really getting away from you, but just some pretty incredible timely things that happened there. You absolutely played to your outs. I think the best way you could, by going all in on that questing adventurer and forcing Base to deal with it. And having that secret up meant you knew you were going to draw 2 cards, and then the 2 cards drawn were Flick and Galakron. That had to feel good when you were out of gas.
Yeah, that was ideal. I was waiting for so long for Base to just play a spell so that I could get some draw. Because that's the thing with Dirty Tricks, it's so easy to play around. And you're at the mercy of your opponent. So it was a huge risk, playing and just waiting over time. Had I not gotten those draws, I don't think I would have been able to get out of that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty perfect timing there.
Yeah, and I mean it pays
game
off
4, that was
obviously
pretty insane.
for a big lead for Tanpams. This series is by no means over, with games between THL Lemur, Osmonaut, and Avi and A2 Battleship incoming. But now Spies needing 2 victories in those 2 games in order to take the series, and Tanpams down to either a win from A2 or a win from Osmonaut will bring home the title.
And that's our only series match left. Do we know when those games are being played tonight?
So both of those matches are being played very late tonight. Oz versus Lemur is at 10 p.m. and I think A2 versus Avi is around the same time.
Yeah,
so that was and I think
Eastern
because
time.
of the on Easter time. So and I think because of the situation with Ducharmo, I believe neither of them are being streamed.
Okay.
So we are just gonna wait and see what happens. But I will just say I'm especially excited for the Osmonaut versus Lemur matchup, because that is the only matchup that did not take place during the first time we played each other. It was actually Murloc subbing in for Lemur, so these two actually get like their first proper chance to face each other this time around.
Okay.
So yeah. So we'll look forward to that.
Absolutely, we will.
But is there anything else that either of you two want to say about the
Nope.
match?
Yeah, Based. Actually, I wanted to say that Hunter versus Warrior game, well played. Like, I was close to having lethal in multiple ways. My hand was I remember I had both Corrosive Breath.
You had Corrosive Breath and Bran.
Yeah, and I had a third card that was kind of irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, it was just the one way to avoid killing me. I don't feel like I played that game perfectly as well. I feel like I could have played the Dormant a turn earlier, which is my mistake.
Yeah.
But you capitalized on that, and well done.
Yeah. That game is like about patience from the warrior and knowing when to take the board and then never give it up. I see a lot of people like they try and go for big value plays with like Terran and stuff. But it's about finding the time to take the board and then never let the hunter have it again, which is what I did. I was super happy with how I played that one. And then your face maw went face, of course. I was like, well, that means Zeph is lethal, and many other things are lethal. But yeah.
Yeah, I just couldn't get there. So well played.
That was the funny thing. If the Felmaw had actually hit the minion, you would have had lethal.
Yeah.
If it had hit the top. So that was
pretty
pretty nuts.
Always hits face though. So
yeah, the hand was Bran, your real Rot Nest, because you used a discovered one, and the real Rot Nest activated the discovered Rot Nest, and then you drew Corrosive Breath off the top.
Yep.
So I was actually thinking you might have lethal if Felmaw went face and you top decked a dragon to activate the Rot Nest and have a chance to just like hit the taunt with the Rot Nest. Obviously there were multiple other ways too, but that game was very exciting and really well played on both sides. I thought that one was about as close as it gets.
Yeah. It was a ton of fun to watch. So thank you guys for coming on today. This was, it's crazy to think that after today we will officially be in the off season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Looking forward to it.
We all could use a break, right?
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and now
Joke's
going
on you,
forward,
I'm already on my break.
Yeah,
I was gonna
Right?
say
same.
I had my vacation last week, man.
yeah, after just a couple more games, that closes out the entirety of the THL seasons, and we no longer have to worry about this current meta ever again. So that comes with some good sides and some bad sides.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, right. I'm just
Oh,
ready
man.
for for whatever is in store next with Hearthstone, and then just having some breathing room.
And the
Well, there's all
excitement.
know
kinds
you
of
all can relate.
madness with the new expansion and
Yep.
Skullomance coming out, so
Oh,
that'll be interesting
man.
to see for next season.
Don't worry,
This
guys.
is gonna be something.
Aggro Demon
Be
Hunter
happy?
isn't going anywhere.
Yeah,
of
it's
course.
it's
Damn it,
probably
Marty.
gonna have a chance to get a bit of a refill with some of its aggression. Although I have seen some of the cards that are printed that don't look quite as strong as Outland, so it remains to be seen.
Yeah, well,
I think the thing I might be most excited for in the expansion, though, is the changing of the name from NHL NJ Fan 1 to Marty Brodeur.
JR has been telling me to change for a little while. I might change it a bit. We will see. It's a little easier to
Oh,
say.
come
so,
on.
just
no,
say
no, I'll
Marty.
probably go
Marty's good,
Marty.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Marty.
I'm
We'll go with
holding you
Marty.
to this, man. I said this before. I am holding you to it.
Marty
It'd
B.
be so much easier to call you Marty.
All right, we'll go with Marty. So.
Or you can start talking how many wins he had. That's what you can do with that.
Ah.
All right. So
But again,
we'll
just
figure it out.
congratulations to Marty Brodeur. Congratulations to Tan Pams on taking a lead in the series, and we're all very excited. We'll be waiting with bated breath to see what happens in these next two games we have up to see which champion will be crowned.
exactly. Perfect. So,
Yeah, I'm win or lose. If there's any team we wanted to lose to in the finals, it's gonna definitely be the Spies. They are one hell of a team for sure. So we shall see what happens.
all right. So everybody keep their eyes peeled for the website there and root for your favorite team or player in this instance.
Yeah.
So that about wrap things up. Any other special news or announcements there, guys? Ron? JR?
I don't think so. This is just our last. This is the last stream. This is going to be the last stream until we reveal teams for the new season.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking some of the we only Tavern Talk's over, right? That's
Yep. Everything is over after this week. The only thing I think that remains is we just have, or sorry, we have
Saloon. Yep.
We have Saloon. And we have obviously Hearth Center. They're going to have their last
Correct.
sessions, but in terms of an actual match stream, this is the last one.
So we do have Sunday. I think that's the Legacy. Or sorry, not Sunday, but tomorrow night is going to be the Legacy All Star craziness that's going to go on. So.
Oh, that's right. I'm
I
terrible at this.
I was trying to remember myself. There's got to be something in there, but then I looked at Don Day's little quick announcement. It's like, hey, dude, 27th. Okay. So whoever's in the All-Star game should be interesting with the five categories that everybody's playing in. So
I'm excited for the new format. I think it's going to be really cool because it allows for a lot of new possibilities as far as how the All-Star match will be played, as far as some of the fun you can see.
Yep.
And it also makes things a little bit easier as far as scheduling goes. So that's a nice plus.
yeah, exactly. So, but that about wraps it up for everybody. So enjoy your night. We'll just keep our eyes peeled on the THL website for the results, which will be later tonight for everybody. So, behalf of
absolutely. And just a final official congratulations, since this I suppose is our last THL match stream, to once again Hearthstone Academy and Legacy, to Tap Last in Pro, to what was the name of the Wild team?
You sunk my Haddle ship.
Yep.
You sunk my Haddle ship in Wild, and to be announced either Spies That Flies or Tan Pam Surf Slam. And we'll definitely be posting updates in the Hero Series channel once we get those results rolling in.
Exactly. Well said.
Very well said, Mr. Mexico.
All right. And with that, wish everybody a great night, and we will see you Monday.
Have a good one,
Take
everybody.
care, everybody.
Good night.
We're gonna be rich.